Welcome to Knicksfandom. This is an independent New York Knicks fan-based podcast, which was created by fans for fans. The show is hosted by LA Blackwell, Danny, and Flau. They'll discuss the issues surrounding the Knicks, the NBA, and various other sports-related topics. Join us. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
If Phil Jackson came back, still no coaching me. I'm uncoachable. I'm unsociable. It's Knicksfandom, everybody. Episode 40. As always, I'm your host, LA Blackwell. Hope all our listeners out there are doing great. Glad to be joined by my co-host, Flo. How you been doing, Flo?
LA, I'm great today. How you doing today, brother?
Doing good, man. Knicks got to win. Also glad to be joined by my fellow co-host, Danny D. How you been doing, Danny D?
About time, man. About time. I'm good, man. I'm good. How's everything with you, LA?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Big episode 40. That's a nice number. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about, listeners. A lot of things we're going to discuss: the NBA and Knicks fandom, the Knicks overall. So just sit back, enjoy it, and stay for a little while. Let's jump right into things, fellas. Our first segment on today's show: Knicks Weekly Round-Up. And the Knicks' current overall record now stands at 22-28. Their home record is 15-9. More importantly, their road record now stands at 7-19. Good gravy. And if the playoffs started today, they would be in 10th place. First up, since our last podcast, the Knicks have lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, 127-107, a win we all thought they should have got. But you know these Knicks, man. They lost to the Golden State Warriors, 123-112. And then they lost to the Denver Nuggets, 130-118. And they was able to get out of the funk and won against the Phoenix Suns 107-85. Their next scheduled game is Tuesday, January 30th at MSG against the Brooklyn Nets. Any major thoughts pertaining to any of the recent losses that stands out, guys? So I'm with you, Flo.
Yes, LA. Two big losses they had on this road trip was losing to the Lakers. Remember, LA, when we came on the air, episode 39, last week's show, listeners, when you get a chance, check it out. I stated that the Knicks need to force the Lakers to become a half-court team. All the Lakers want to do is run up and down the court. I stated that the Knicks need to contain Jordan Clarkson. And what happened? He got busy. By the way, LA, are you a fan of Jordan Clarkson now, after that performance?
That's just bad Knicks play, man. I don't mean nothing. I'm not giving no extra props for that. He's okay. I didn't say he's a bad player. I just didn't want to do the deal we talked about that would bring him to the Knicks that we just talked about off the air. You know, that's the only thing. But continue.
Okay. Fair enough. And then the Denver game, you know, that was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. The Knicks front court, I believe, had 6 points to the Denver starting front court that had 41 points. You had Ron Baker starting at the two-guard position. You know about Coach Horner said he didn't want to start Tim Hardaway Jr. in a back-to-back game. Baker played 12 minutes, 0 points. And Jared Jack had 6 points. Embarrassing. Really embarrassing.
True. Definitely true. You know, I didn't even show up to me. You know, that's the thing that's really bad about it. What you thought about that, Danny D?
Yeah, just overall, those losses, it's just defensively, they've just played bad because they're just trying to outscore teams. And how the NBA is playing, it's still an offensive lean, but defensively, you have to get stops. When you're going against the Lakers and they're having big runs, and you're going against Denver starting off the fourth quarter with a 10-0 run, these are things we're not a veteran team to get defensive stops to stop these teams. When we're in the hundreds and the 110s of 15, there's no way we have enough willpower, enough scoring power to keep up with these teams. So defensively, we have to get stops. And like Flo said, and like you said, cut these teams that like to run into a half-court team so we can have a chance to win. Some of these games, we have no chances. We get close, and then we run out of gas. And then just run up and down the court, and they get the W.
Absolutely. I think some people listening to the last podcast, some of the players, that's one of our listeners told me about earlier this week. Because Randall really did his thing, man. I thought he was going to come in there hurt. And he had like he had shown no ill effects. And like you stated, Clarkson did his thing. And just like with the Denver game, like I said, they didn't really show up to me. I didn't expect them to do nothing with Golden State. So overall, it's just you need to at least win 2 of those. To me, you should have won Denver and you should have won the Lakers. So you just keep falling back. The only little ray of sunlight right now was that Phoenix game, and the play of basically Trey Burke. That was a big plus for me. What do you guys think about that win against the Suns and Trey Burke play overall? Starting with you, Daddy D.
Oh, Trey Burke at 18, it was a wonderful game, but then it throws in, now it got me second guessing because I'm like, all right, they won by a margin amount, but then Devin Booker got thrown out the game. So I'm thinking, if Devin Booker didn't get thrown out the game, we would have won that game. If Devin Booker didn't get the 2 technicals and got kicked out the game,
might not. It got that close, They didn't have any pieces either. That's the only thing that was weird about it.
Exactly my point. You understand what I'm saying?
It's crazy. What you think about it, Flo?
LA, just give me 3 minutes to talk about this. Just give me 3 minutes. Here's the problem here. I don't understand that the Knicks needed to hold a breakfast meeting led by Lance Thomas to pump them up to beat the Phoenix Suns. Are you kidding me? Gentlemen, how many championships have the Phoenix Suns have won?
None that I know of.
Exactly. Why you need to get fired up against Phoenix? You should have been fired up against Golden State, not Phoenix. You got to be kidding me, man. What a joke, man. This team is a joke, an embarrassment. They're an embarrassment, man. Ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Only positive of this game, the starting five of the Knicks was a plus 106, and Trey Burke got busy off the bench. Plus 4 is 17 minutes, 18 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Other than that, the Knicks are embarrassment. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's all you could be, just Phoenix Suns. That's all. That's it. Phoenix Suns and the Brooklyn Nets. That's it. Come on, guys. Y'all talk about playoffs. Don't talk about playoffs. Don't disrespect Knicks fans like that. Don't talk about playoffs. Don't do that. This ain't Jim Mora. Playoffs. No. Don't do that.
I hear you, Flo. I hear where you're coming from. And that's what they've been. Like we said in the last episode, Jekyll and Hyde with this team, man. They show you a little something, they give it and they take it away. But the thing is with this team, like you said, the main hope I'm holding on to was the starting lineup, which actually played really well overall. And the thing is, I'd like to see Trey Burke moved into the starting lineup. This time, we really appreciate what you did. Speaking for, what's the name? What's the point guard name? Jared Jack. But, it's time for you just to mentor and be on this bench right now.
But see, LA, I can't because the thing about it, if you start Trey Burke, then you having Frank come off the bench and get the minute, and Frank is not playing good at all. There's like, oh, that's what you're in the mix. You're in no man's land. He's like, you want Frank to learn, but at what cost do you want Frank to learn at? What cost? To him play like doo-doo and we still get the loss? Because now some reports are saying that we need to send Frank to the G League.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
That's what they said not to set for the G League, just to get his feet wet so that he can go in there and get the practice that he need. Because right now, if he's not playing, he's not learning. He's on the bench.
But that's the problem.
He's not doing anything.
But you got to let him play. This team is not winning a championship. Let him get some time. 9 minutes he got last game. That's nothing. You got to give him some time. You can't do nothing sitting on the bench. It's like let Jared Jack go at this point. Let him go and get to. He should be getting the time that Frank getting right now. Because you're going to have to see what these guys made of anyway at this point, Go ahead, D.
No, I'm saying you're in New York. You want to win. You can't. Of course, you want to go. But when he's playing, if he's having a lot of turnovers and things like that, you can't play Frank. And that's the reason. You want the learning expense. If you put him in the G League, you can make as many mistakes as you want. We don't care. It's the G League.
I get it, but it's like I feel like he need to be with this team that's out here right now. I just don't think he can. I don't know if he ready to go down there, like mentally wise. I don't know how that would affect him.
That's true.
What'd you think about it, Flo?
I thought about it. I think it would benefit him if he does go to the G League. But the problem is this Knicks team ain't going nowhere. So if the Knicks are really, really serious, if they really believe they can make a playoff run, then they need to win the next 6 games in a row and just start Jared Jack. If they lose one game in the next 6 games as Jared Jack as a starting point guard, then you start Trey Burke. You give Trey Burke 24 minutes, and you give Frank 24 minutes, and you tell Jared Jack, listen, nice knowing you, but we're going to move you to a playoff contender. It's time for you to go get a ring. We'll trade you to Golden State, or we'll trade you to Cleveland. Go get a ring. We appreciate your services here, but we're not going to try to keep you here any longer to mentor Frank. You've done an excellent job as being a great mentor to Frank, but right now you're just stealing minutes from Frank right now at this point. So that's the way how the Knicks should handle the situation.
But there's no way they're going to win the next 6 games anyway. That's not happening. You see who the next 6 games is? They lucky they go 2-4 right now. The next games is Brooklyn, Boston, and after that they play, I believe, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Toronto. They not winning all 6 of them games? I don't care who they starting. That ain't happening right now. Now with this team, we seen this, fellas. That team is way too erratic, man. What, Jag, Frank, I don't know who you get. You get anybody starting this team. You better have Kyrie Irving try to win all 6 of them games, man. That ain't happening with this Knicks team. No way. No way.
Interesting statement you made, LA. Interesting statement. Kyrie Irving. Just keep that in mind, LA. 2 years, he'll be a free agent. Just keep that in mind. Kyrie Irving. That's the point guard I'm looking at. Not Isaiah Thomas. Not Kemba Walker.
Kyrie Irving. Kyrie, the same dude I was pushing for the longest, man. And you ran me down, Flo. I'm not going to let you just get away with that one, man. You ran me down with that dude, man. Now you say you want to go after him. I don't know, Flo. He looking real good out there in Boston, huh?
Oh, you're going to bring up the past. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Like that.
I'm just saying, like that, man. I was happy when he left LeBron. I said, go do your thing, young man. Go do your thing. But I don't think he's going to do it, man. Go ahead, Flo.
Yeah, but he came to New York. He should have never went to Boston. Should have came to New York. I don't like the way how the Cavs did business. I really don't. I know there's a new GM by the name of Kobe Altman. There was pressure on him to, make the deal. I don't know, LA, you wanted to go in full detail about this supposed rumor about this knee injury with Kyrie. You want to talk about it or no?
Go ahead. I didn't really hear that much about it. You can go into it. About the soreness in the knee. We did talk about it a little bit before the show. About getting some information and all that.
Yeah, about how he was gonna sit out the season.
Yeah,
about
that. Go ahead. Tell us for our listeners. They might not have heard about it.
He wanted to sit out the season. If he didn't get traded, he wanted to sit out the season. He felt disrespected on draft day that the Cavs were trying to trade him to Indiana for Paul George. He felt that was all LeBron's plan. LeBron stated nope. LeBron said nope. He had no idea what was going on. He didn't know that they offered Kyrie on the table. He knew the Cavs were going after Paul George, but he had no idea that Kyrie was offered on the table. He was trying to talk to Kyrie to let him know that he's against this deal, but I think Kyrie just made up his own mind, like he just wanted out.
I think so too. I think you gotta remember Kyrie looks up to Kobe Bryant a lot, from what I see in a lot of the news stuff, and I think he want to have his own team and want to be his own man. He got his chip already, so it's like now is the time to do it, and that probably just pushed him out the door even more. It's like I'm trying to be here. I give up the ball to LeBron. You gotta remember, you could look at the way Kyrie played versus the way he played with Cleveland. It's totally different. He controls the ball a lot. You see him a lot more in the highlights. He's actually, he's the real man on this team. And I think he knew what he had in his own ability, and he had to, which a lot of players have to do when they play with LeBron. As great as LeBron is, they all have to, kind of change their games from Chris Bosh to Kyrie. LeBron ain't changing his game. He going to control the ball. He going to kick it out of the double teams and do all that other stuff. But you're going to have to change your game to play with LeBron. And a part of me feel like LeBron probably thought it was better to play with Paul George. Because one thing Paul George has shown me, even in OKC, is that he can pretty much play with anybody. His game is just that type of game that it don't really matter if he got the ball, if he's controlling the ball, he's just going to play off the ball or on the ball. It doesn't really make a difference. Which make he probably a better fit to play with LeBron anyway. Looking at it the way in LeBron's mind, I think. But I think Kyrie's a better player, no doubt. But just looking at overall, I just think it was something that he had to do. And I think it's probably best for both of them at this point. Maybe not LeBron, but for Kyrie. Anything else you want to add to that, Danny D?
Yeah, he got to go. He want to be the man of the team and lead his team, get under the shadow. You got to do what you got to do. It's a business.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And that's more and more these players are acting in that way. What else you want to add to that, Flo?
No, I'm just LA. What I'm trying to do is I just want you to open your eyes a little bit. I know you really like Kemba Walker, and I agree. Kemba is a good player, but I think Kyrie is the big prize we definitely should go after, just in case we struck out with Klay Thompson. That's all.
Hold up, I can't let you just slide that out there, Flo. Kemba Walker was your main dude, man. You talked about that dude way more than I talked about him. I talk about Kyrie all the time, way before he even got dealt. I always talk about he's from New York. He's the type of guy you need. I said Kemba Walker's a good player, and if you could get him for a cheap deal, I would do that. I don't think you're going to get Kyrie at this point. Only person you could have got him for was like KP. So to me, I don't know, unless you're going to have some real cap space sitting for him, I don't see him leaving Boston to come to this team right now, especially with the way the Knicks are playing. You got a better coach in in Boston. You got better players over there, better GM. So why don't I come to New York? Other than just because I like New York and maybe I can play with KP if he decides he want to stay in the next couple of years as well. I don't see what's so much better than what Boston is making moves left and right. You know, I was one thing I can say, Danny Ainge, he making good moves, man. I haven't seen those type of moves in New York right now at all. They're building a statue if he made them type of moves in New York. So I don't see why he want to come here at this point, especially he's winning. That's the big thing. He is winning, and he's the man. So it's like, other than maybe if he don't like Boston itself, which it seemed that they have seemed to embrace him right now, I don't see why he going to come here. What you think about it, Danny D?
Yeah, and you have to start over. He got something going over there. They're winning, and Gordon Hayward didn't even play yet, so he's got to look at that chemistry too. They might have a little dynasty going over there right now, consecutive. They're going to have a good team in the future.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see that right now. I wanted to do that before. You know, I was pumping Kyrie for the longest, guys. You know that. So I just don't see it happening now once they actually dealt him. I thought it was easier. I thought he going to get tired of Cleveland, which he did, and I thought the Knicks could swoop in there and do that. Now that he did doing that, he done left already beforehand and winning. It's harder to make these guys come to this team, especially the Knicks not winning right now. That's a real tough move right there. Ain't that why I have that flow before we go to the next topic?
Nah, you guys made interesting points.
Okay. Anything else we want to talk about? The Knicks, I just want to talk about going forward, looking at the Brooklyn Nets, who right now 18-32, actually doing worse than the Knicks. How you guys think they will fare against the Nets in the upcoming games? Start with you, Flo.
Well, like I said earlier, it's important for the Knicks to win 6 in a row, starting with this net game. They started a road trip in Brooklyn, so it's important for them to see if they can continue to, go on a winning streak right now. They beat Phoenix Friday night. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But let's see if they can continue with a win streak here. They got to keep it going. If all these players, all these veterans on this team is real serious about making the playoffs, then it's time for them to go on a winning streak now. There are no more excuses. I don't want to hear about you're hurt. I don't want to hear about I can't play back to back. I don't want to hear about our team is not built. It's not built properly. I'm tired of excuses. It's time for the players on that team to man up. Remember that Michael Jackson song, "The Man in the Mirror"?
Yes, sir.
They need to definitely look in the mirror. All these veterans on that team, 12 players strong. The Warriors always said it best. Their motto is strength in numbers. The Knicks need to definitely believe in themselves. Their strength in numbers, go out there and start getting these W's now. No more excuses. Just get wins. Period, man.
They do. They got to stay healthy, man. That's the biggest thing with me. You got to stay healthy and get this starting lineup figured out and just go forward with it right now. And just be more consistent. That's the biggest thing, especially defensive-wise. You can't be playing well one day, then the next day, like you said, you need Lance Thomas to make y'all step up. Come on, man. You got to be better than that to be taken seriously. What else you want to add to that, Danny D?
Like you said, it's the first game coming back, and it's a home game. A home game, you got to protect the home, and just get this W. I ain't got no excuses, no matchups. Just get the W. Just do what you got to do.
No, I agree. We said the same thing. This is just I don't know. It worries me, though, like the Laker game. I thought they was going to win that game, and like we said, they needed to win that game. They couldn't do it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they lost, although I think they should win, but it would not surprise me if they lost this game right now. What the Knicks is, I'm just hoping they start Trey Burke, which I would do right now, and just keep that lineup going. Hopefully, Tim Hardaway is healthy. That's the main thing. You need to keep these guys in the lineup. KP, hopefully he's healthy, and then go from there, and then you should see what you really got. That's the problem. And let Trey, he got 18 points in 18 minutes, man. Let him start. Let Frank back him up for now, and let Jared Jack do the in between stuff and to get the little extra minutes. But it's time to let the two guys go. Burke is still young; he's like 25. Let Frank get some more playing time. He's not gonna get better on the bench. And if you feel that fearful of letting him play, then put him in the G League. If he's that bad to you and you really can't let him play, then put him in G League at that point after the next couple of games. I wouldn't do it. I just let him play because, like you stated before, this team is not winning nothing right now. Let him play. And I think that's your best options anyway, because Trey Burke is a smaller point guard. You need another dude that's taller than him to back him up to really help him defensive-wise. And that's the one thing Frank can do for the most part. But thank you, dear fellas, regarding that. And Knicks Weekly Roundup, that's going to make us step right into our next segment, Behind the Scenes. And behind the scenes for our listeners out there, it's basically we talk about any G League development news, any Knicks article you might have saw that may find interesting, and or trade rumors. Starting with behind the scenes, I want to talk about KP. He was named to this year's Eastern Conference All-Star team. Actually, a bright spot for the Knicks and Knicks fans. What's your thought, guys, regarding KP making an All-Star team? What you want to talk about that, Danny D?
This guy, congratulations to KP. Well deserved. He had started off the season hot. He was averaging damn near 27 and 10 out there. He was killing. So it was much deserving. And congrats is one of the bright spots for the Knicks. And congrats once again.
Okay, how about you, Flo?
LA, I'm going to bring up this point once again. Congratulations, KP. But at the same time, he should be starting over Joel Embiid, period.
You know I ain't going to go there with that. I would say, as I stated before, Joel Embiid definitely should deserve to start. You know, more wins, better rebounding. You know, I thought a better impact in that regard. But KP definitely deserved to be on the team, no doubt about that. And, you know, he was like 1A, 1B between him and Embiid. But I'm just glad to see him on the team. And this is what you need, especially for a franchise guy. You want him to be around other All-Stars, other players of that capability. And, you know, just get used to that, get that experience and feel like this is where he want to be every year. And, you know, that's where he can grow and hopefully the Knicks can grow. And a lot of times this is where these moves get made. They get the friendships on these All-Star games. They get to talk to other guys and say, oh, I like playing with them All-Star team. What about you come to my team when you're a free agent? Things like that. Hopefully that don't work the other way, make a KP want to leave, but make some people want to come to the Knicks. But, no, good look out for KP. A bright spot for the Knicks. We haven't had a real All-Star come to the Knicks in a while other than Melo. But one of our homegrown players, this is a good look for us. And how about Frank Ntilikina? He was named to this year's Rising Stars game. What's your thought, fellas, regarding Frank making the Rising Stars game? Starting with you, Flo.
LA, if I'm Frank, I want to say first to Frank, congrats. But this is the game where he needs to step up here. Let everybody know that he can play basketball. He's got to get busy. He's got to get busy in this game. This is supposed to be the breakout time for him, man. The Knicks need something positive during All-Star weekend. They need something positive. Hopefully, Frank is the bright spot for this team. Hopefully, KP start networking with these ball players, but Frank's got to step up. It starts with Frank. Everything starts with Frank. He's the point guard. He's the floor general. He's the leader. It all begins with Frank.
Well, that's true. Like you said, it also feels good for him to be around other players that capability. That's, you know, bright young stars that other teams are being around, and he can be around and learn from that as well. What you think about Danny D?
And also it gives time Frank to show him that he belongs. So now he's playing with people of top caliber that's throughout the league, and these guys can play. And this is a statement that Frank should show these players that he's supposed to belong and he's supposed to be in the league. And he can show that with this game.
No, definitely. Definitely agree with you guys on those points. You know, hopefully they play well and stay healthy. That's the main thing. Looking forward regarding that All-Star break. And that leads right into our G League development news. You got any G League development news for us, Flo?
Yes, LA, I do. Unfortunately, the Westchester Knicks lost to the Erie Bayhawks 120-112 at home yesterday. Center Luke Cornett had 23 points, 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover, 2 blocks, and a +7 in 30 minutes. Shooting guard Billy Garnett, 17 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 turnovers, +9 in 31 minutes. LA, the Westchester Knicks are 22-12. They still have the best record in the G League. They are 13-3 on the road, but they are struggling at home at 9-9.
Opposite of the same spectrum, man. Right now. They can't win at home. Knicks can't win on the road. Okay. But their record is much better. Another bright spot for Knicks fans. It's hope. Hope is eternal.
Yep. That's true.
Is that where we're going to G League?
Nah, that's it, man.
Okay. Thank you very much. Much appreciated there, Flo. And that's going to put us right to our next segment, which is our NBA off the court. And for NBA off the court, that's where we discuss any newsworthy topic that pertains to the NBA on or off the court, or the Knicks, or any other thing of that nature. We briefly give our thoughts or opinions surrounding these topics. Also, if any of our listeners out there would like to discuss a specific topic or issue in a future episode, please send your requests or topic to Knicksfandom@gmail.com. Remember, Knicksfandom@gmail.com. Be a part of the movement, folks. And for our first NBA topic today, the NBA recently named and chose the complete NBA All-Star rosters. What's your overall thought, guys, regarding the rosters? Let me break them down real quick for you. For LeBron James' team, the final roster was LeBron James, LaMarcus Aldridge, Bradley Beal, DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins, unfortunately, was injured and will be out for the season, which we're going to talk about later on in the show. And thirdly, was replaced by Paul George. They also have Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Victor Oladipo, Kristaps Porzingis, John Wall, and Russell Westbrook. That team will go against Stephen Curry's team, which would be Giannis the Greek Freak, Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, Joel Embiid, Draymond Green, James Harden, Al Horford, Damian Lillard, your guy Flo, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, and Karl Anthony Towns. Now with the team completely filled, what are your thoughts about the final completed roster? Starting with you, Danny D.
That was a good roster. Everybody Paul George got in. Unfortunately, circumstances for Boogie Cousins. I think the team's not even. I don't know. Like I said, I sent that to text you guys. I don't know what Stephen Curry was doing. I don't know what picks he were doing, because I don't know how he ended up with that team. So that means he had to pick Klay and Draymond early. He had to. There's no other reason how the team is. I think it's unbalanced. I think LeBron has a way better team, but Steph said that he's going to shock the world. He likes to be the underdog.
Yeah, I concur with you, man. I definitely like LeBron's team better. Steph got more shooters, but overall talent and guys that could take over the game, I definitely think LeBron's team is better. And Kyrie's back on there. That's something to see. What you think? What you think about it, Flo?
LA, no arguments from me. I agree with both of you gentlemen. It just seems like LeBron's team is stacked. This time, LeBron can't complain about anything this time.
I hope it made the game better, because them All-Star games have been terrible, man. Go ahead, D.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. The purpose of it was to have a more competitive game. Because I said, now if you look at the thing, I said Joel Embiid is good. But do you think Joel Embiid, if it's a track meet, you think Joel Embiid is going to run up and down on the floor if it's a track meet?
I don't know. It's always going to be a track meet in this All-Star game. Nobody played defense. Basically everybody just, piggyback and running back.
It's a different pace of game. So look at the guard. Look at the guards. When your backup is Russell Westbrook as a backup guard.
I know. And they got size too.
It's size too. Not like a, you know what I'm saying? So that backup, no disrespect to Kyle Lowry, but sometimes you compare apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. You got to really have big games from like James Harden and, the Greek Freak and stuff like that with Curry. That's what you're hoping on. But, we'll see. But I'm more looking for, honestly, about the Rising Stars game. I think that's going to be a better game than me. I don't know. What you think about it, Flo?
Yeah, I mean, two things. LA, I agree. I think James Harden, he's got to have a great game in order for Steph Curry's team to win. Because this All-Star game is about no defense. So this is right up James Harden's alley right there. So he's got to have a great game.
Oh, go ahead, Flo. Nice dig.
Sorry, man. Once you mentioned James Harden's name, man, it was right out there in the open. I'm sorry, but hey, love you, James. Sorry about that.
Hey, he matched the whole league defense. Call it like it is, man.
But yeah, overall, I think in order for this All-Star game to be a little bit better, there should be like a reward. Like, let's say like the winning team gets some type of monetary donation into their favorite charity. I think that would really help as motivation for these players.
Oh, you know what? You would think so, but even Steph Curry didn't play well. You remember last year they did the 3-point contest and they was giving all the money to what's his name? Oh, what's the name, guys? He just passed, the announcer. Craig
the late Craig Sager.
Yeah, there you go, Craig Sager. Rest in peace to him. And he was struggling. I think like the pressure, because like every shot you get like a certain amount of money was given, and like the pressure got to him with that, and they gave him the money anyway, which was good. But I don't know. It's a good idea. I think it's something will help, because you can't get more money to the players. They make so much money now, it doesn't even help them. It's not incentive at all at this point. But maybe something like that might help at this point. Have some more type of pride about the game. And I think a lot of that happened in the '90s. Like when Magic came back for that game and they basically played no D and let him win the All-Star MVP. I feel like ever since then, it was like a lot of players just didn't take it serious at that point. It's just like, I want to be named, and it was just about just not trying to get hurt and just put on some highlights. But the last couple of games been horrible to me. 100-something points, like over 140 points and something like that. That's crazy. That's nothing to watch. I barely watched the game. It was not competitive. That's not interesting to me. Okay. I much appreciate that, guys. And for the other main topic I want to discuss briefly was regarding NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who is basically leading the current charge regarding the legalization of betting on professional sports outside of Nevada. And he's even suggesting they go so far as to allow people to bet on their smartphones and not use the kiosks when betting on NBA games. And they're trying to get like 1% of like every bet or something of that nature. They haven't really worked that out yet, but what are your guys' thoughts about this proposal, and are you in favor of it? Starting with you, Danny D.
I'm not in favor of it, because the only thing I'm looking at it, all right, you have 4 states, right? Delaware, Montana, Nevada, and Oregon, whatever, that's legalized sports betting. So as I'm looking at it as a consumer, all right, and the product of the game, we already the referee back in the 90s got in trouble for sports betting. And that really put a tarnish on the game. I forgot the referee's name. I forgot the referee's name.
Tim Donahue.
Yeah, I forgot Tim Donahue and stuff like that. So now are we jeopardizing the integrity of the basketball game? Something like Blue Chip, the purity of the game. You want to be like Tony in Blue Chips if you ever saw that, guys. It's a very funny reference of when he was doing point shavings because he was in college. So my thing is, how do we keep this and keep the integrity of the NBA and the integrity of the game with sports betting, right? So my thing is, that's number one. And number two, who's benefiting from the sports? Who's going to benefit from this? Is it going to be the fans, or ticket prices are going to go down? No. Or player salaries are going to go up? And are owners going to make more money off of this? Because from the consumer standpoint, I'm not gaining anything from this. That's just me personally.
Well, you might if you're a person that like to bet on the NBA. Now you're free to do it throughout the whole game.
Yeah, for betting, but I'm not talking about from a consumer. I'm just talking about from an NBA fan sport. Not betting. I'm not going to bet regardless. That's just how am I gaining? How am I winning?
No, I hear you. I think it's more for like the owners and the players.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to share out of that revenue, and they both got to collectively bargain to get a portion of it, at least probably half to each, which make the salary cap go up, which made the players' money go up, and made the NBA revenue go up. But I'll give my more details about it as we go along. What you think about it, Flo?
Nah, something seems fishy about this story. I'm really not in favor of this at all. I don't believe they should legalize sports betting in the NBA now. No way. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, people are already betting on games anyway. So now you want to legalize it. It'll probably benefit maybe like celebrities like Floyd Mayweather Jr., but I don't think it's going to benefit the fans, the real consumers that love the game. The diehard fans that love the game so much, they try their best to save money from their paycheck just to go to a game. It's not easy, but they try. I don't think it benefits the fans at all. No way.
I agree with both of you guys, man. And Adam Silver, I think he's done a very good job as commissioner, much better than they do in the NFL, and really thinks about the players and really taking their thoughts and their ideas, especially on certain controversial issues. I think he actually listens to them versus other leagues out there. But I think he's being very short-sighted with this one, guys. And like you said, even with the movie, looking at the Blue Street, and that's just on a college level. With no real money compared to the NBA, you got guys here, and it's very dangerous. It's like you're going down a real slippery slope, very close to like opening a Pandora's box. And like you said, back in 2007 with the Tim Donahue scandal, that thing was a big eyesore for the NBA. It was talking about the NBA may not be recovering from that. They was looking like wrestling. It was fake. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. And that was just one ref. and you didn't have it legalized like you're trying to do now, this could be every game. It could be players 12th on the bench, referees, and it's not made out of big players might not be affected. What about that player who's barely on the team, who's not really getting that much playing time? He might be more concentrated on betting or have his friends out there betting for him. And he know what's going on in that locker room. He could tell you about injuries and things of that nature. I don't think it's worth the money that you could get. I know it's a lot of money out there, and it's really tough to turn that down. But it's like, how much more you want to keep doing, kind of like taking away the integrity of the game, little by little. Like, even with the New Jersey and these little ads on them, I don't like them. I really don't. It's like, after a while, what's it going to look like? NASCAR with all these different ads on these uniforms? It's like, after a while, it's taken away from what the nuances of the game and trying to keep it somewhat a little more pure. And you just don't want to be doing that at halftime of a game, everybody looking at their phone making bets, instead of actually concentrating on what's going on the floor in the actual game itself. And then you have another scandal with a referee or with a player. It's like, it don't take much for this league to go under. We've seen that before with the drug issue they had early in the 70s and 60s. And now you have this with the Tim Donaghy and everything in 2007. I don't think why you want to go down that road against. The league is doing very well. It's one of the most popular leagues. You don't need it right now. You're making a lot of money. You're going global. You don't need extra money right now. I would not go down that road. But anything you want to add to that, fellas?
And that's just to add, like you said, with the referees and officiating, that means you have to get somebody, an unbiased officiation thing from like a different country to come ref the games, because you couldn't get anybody from the U.S. if you're betting, because how would you know nobody's tainted? It's impossible to know. You have to get somebody. You have to get something. It would be at the whole new refereeing system. Somebody from like Canada or something like that. You have to call up like, yo, L.A., Flau, you got a game coming in on Thursday. You got to come in and do the game and leave. No, I'm not in agreement with it at all.
I just think they're gonna have a third party review it, some type of system. They said that's what they're looking at overall. But like, it's just open a can of worms, man, that you don't need, and you're already making a lot of money. I know it's more money always can be made, but I find a different way to go about it right now. You probably got to go down that road eventually, but I would not force myself down this road, at least not right now. Not right now. But thank you, fellas. And, listeners, you give us a comment if you got any ideas or thoughts behind that. What's your thoughts all regarding this topic? Feel free to send that on our YouTube or our email. And that brings us to our next segment of the show, which is NBA Talk. And for NBA Talk, fellas, I'm going to do a quick rundown about some of the main topics that affect the NBA as a whole. And let's just start with DeMarcus Cousins. He's out with a season-ending torn left Achilles injury. What do you guys think about DeMarcus Cousins' injury and how that's going to affect the Pelicans and the NBA as a whole? Starting with you, Flo.
LA, I want to give a shout out to Boogie Cousins. I wish you a speedy recovery. This is not easy for him because you have some players that have been through this injury, and you have one specific player that plays, his game is similar to DeMarcus Cousins, who never recovered, by the name of Elton Brand. You guys remember Elton Brand? He's played with the Clippers, Chicago Bulls.
I remember.
Never the same player.
Never looked the same. Mm-mm.
Never looked the same. It's going to be very, very difficult for Boogie to come back, but it's different nowadays because we have the technology, we have the doctors, we have everything that's out there in the open, so he has a great chance of recovering, but I still think it's going to be a long way back. It's not easy. I wish him all the best. And as far as the Pelicans are concerned, they definitely need to go out there and make a trade and get a big man. So two guys I'm thinking about right now, off the top of my head, is Derek Favors of the Utah Jazz. That's one player. Another guy I'm thinking about is probably one of the big men from the Knicks, maybe Kyle O'Quinn, because obviously the Unicorn and the Unibrow, both players are very similar, Anthony Davis and Kristaps Porzingis. Both players have stated that they don't like playing center. So definitely the Pelicans need to get themselves a starting center right now. They got to make a move. There's pressure on their GM, Dell Demps, and there's pressure on their head coach, Allen Gentry, to make the playoffs. My man, the Unibrow, has been there for 6 years, been to the playoffs one time. That's embarrassing. It really is.
I agree with you. Ain't no rocking a hard place right now. Tough break for Boogie. We wish him speedy recovery. Does get hurt now, right when he made the All-Star team for the first time, putting up some terrific numbers. And you got free agency coming up right around the corner. And it's just like Isaiah Thomas, he got hurt. I don't know if you're going to give him the max money now, not even seeing how he's going to come off this injury. Especially injury like this that took out Dominique Wilkins. He was never the same after it as well. So I don't know. It's a tough break and tough time for them. What you want to add to that, Danny D?
Yes, definitely a tough break and tough time because now you're dealing on what do you do? Because he was probably looking at a deal worth what, 5 years, 170 million. Do you take that chance? And now because now everything is like a domino effect. Because now with this injury, now what does Anthony Davis do? I'm in my prime. Do I stay and hopefully Boogie comes back and we can work together? But what if I stay and he's not the same player? Now I wasted my years waiting for him to come to rehab. And now we really suck. Now we suck. And I could have left. Or do what? Do I ask them to give me a 3-year deal, let Boogie take a 3-year deal? Or do we do a 2-year deal and to play it off? It's a very, very bad timing. And once again, they're in the thick of trying to make the playoffs. They're 6. They're on the hill. A lot of teams on the hill. What trades do we make? How do we move on to try to make the playoffs? And that affects the other NBA players too. Was Marcus going to stay? If they would have made the playoffs, was he going to stay? Was he going to go to the Lakers? So it's a bad effect and it's a bad taste, man. It's a fortunate injury at a horrible timing. Just a speedy recovery for Boogie, and hope everything comes out good.
Definitely agree with you, Danny D. And and you made a good point with Anthony Davis. Do you want to hitch your wagon to this guy right now because he's hurt? And also, it wasn't like y'all was crushing the league. Y'all didn't have like the second or best record to even feel like even if he come back 100%, that you really can push this team forward. It's going to be a championship caliber team. You didn't really get to that point yet. They still need a lot of pieces to work around them guys. They still just learn how to play with each other when they both wasn't even injured like that, So, I don't know. It's a tough break right now, guys. But as we go forward, another tough break, which we all saw this coming. It's not the lack of injury, but it's like, come on, guys. We've been talking about this for previous episode. Mr. Mike Conley's out for the season with a season-ending heel injury. What you want to add to that, Danny D?
I'm not even trying to be funny, things like that. I didn't even know he was playing. I'm not no jokes. I'm not no diss against Mike Conley. I thought he was already hurt. I didn't even know he was playing. Well, Mike, like I said, it's a tough injury. Also, it's a heel injury. They said that he was trying to work through it, and it really wasn't adding up. So he has to get shut down, have surgery. But just another tough break. Hopefully, he can take some of that money that he got to save up and just try to make a healthy recovery. I'm like a full healthy recovery, not no half and half. He has to come back 100%.
Oh, 100%. Even with this guy, I don't know how good that is. What you think about it, Flo?
LA, I wish Mike Conley Jr. a speedy recovery, but, and a big but, this is the reason why Coach Fizdale was fired in the first place. This guy can't stay healthy. That's one of the reasons. It's not the number one reason, but that was the second reason. We already know the first reason was Marcus Hall. So, I'm not surprised he's hurt. Wish him a speedy recovery, Mike Conley Jr. But everything falls on their owner. It really falls on their owner. They gave him the big bucks. And I think Mike Conley Jr. is a nice guy. I've never met him personally. From all the stories I've read about him, he seems like a cool person. He loves giving back to the community. He's well respected, but this guy can't catch a break. It's unfortunate. It really is.
Oh, no, definitely. From what I hear, he seems like a very good guy. No issues really off the court. We never got on him for the off the court stuff, It was about putting this much money. And remember, you gave him franchise money, a huge contract to a guy that's always hurt, small guy, not the most athletic guy, and then he's hurt again. And you already got a guy that's not very athletic that's already hurt again, and you hit your wagon between this guy. And we said that before. Do not give these type of players this type of money. This will hamper this franchise for this year and the next couple of years. Because nobody want to play with this guy now, man. Why do I want to play with this guy and this team already done hit their wagon to this guy who's not one of the top 10 players in the league? He's already hurt, and he's eating up a ton of cap space. And now you can't do enough with him. Who's going to trade for him?
That's good. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It was
and
crazy.
Another thing, too.
Go ahead, D.
And that's another thing, too. And he's hurt, and the style of play is not like a Derrick Rose or Westbrook style of play. He has a simple style of play. He's not jumping and dunking on players. He's going through pick and rolls and doing jump shots, and he's hurt off of simple steps.
Exactly. That's why we talked about this in previous episodes. You got to be careful who you hit your wagon to and give these top money to. You can't afford that. Not nowadays. Too many of these teams are too stacked. If you ain't got all your players running at the same level and the top players not hurt, you ain't winning nothing. And that's just how it is. But that reminds me of another guy who you thought was hurt or not playing, who basically MIA, we forgot to talk about, Mr. Joakim Noah. I want to talk about him missing from the Knicks lately. Want to talk about him, Danny D?
Oh, basically with Joakim Noah, they have a report saying he had some personal issues that he's going to be taking off a couple of games. We'll see him. You won't see him for a while, but they're saying, according to ESPN and New York Daily News and the New York Post, that he was upset at Coach Hornacek for pulling him out the Golden State game, which he only played 4 minutes and 31 seconds, and they were down by 17. And after that, he's been MIA ever since.
He was MIA before that. They made much of a difference. Where's Waldo? Where's Noah? How about you, Flo? What you want to add to your main man, Joakim Noah?
First, LA, Joakim Noah's not my main guy. He's your number one guy. Talked about this season 1 for Knicksfandom. You said you was happy about Phil getting this guy. I told you should give him a 1 year prove it deal. I said that in season 1, episode 1 of Knicksfandom. So that's number one. I want to clear the air on that. You know, I've made some mistakes a couple times today, LA, but come on, give me some credit. Come on, man. My goodness, man. You you just love picking on your little brother, don't you?
It's all love on Knicks fan. It's all love, man. Nah, I totally get where you're coming from. Go ahead, Flo.
But like you said, LA, I mean, this guy's been in MIA all season. Didn't he take a vacation the first 12 games of the season with suspension?
Pretty much, man. How you going to be mad when you're making this much money for this little bit of work? I'm not going nowhere, man. I don't understand that. I don't get that. You so upset. I'm upset you're getting this much money for this little bit of minutes. I would keep it quiet and just do what I need to do. 70-something million. Come on, man. That's crazy.
LA.
Go ahead, Flo.
LA.
Yeah.
What I wanted to add on, this is the second former Bull player that's went AWOL for the second consecutive season in a row for the Knicks. Remember last season with Derrick Rose?
I remember that. He never did say what happened. He just he's just out there. We know he's okay. And then, Rose did it again this year. So, I don't know. It's a lot of issues outside of the court, man.
Listen, if you're Scott Perry and Mr. Stephen Mills, you got to figure out a way to get this guy out of here. You got to contact Tom Thibodeau in Minnesota. Give him a call. Say, listen, man, we got Noah, one of your favorite players. What do you want from him? Because we have no use for him right now on this roster. We want to play Hernan Gomez. What do you want for this guy? Do you want us to take half of the salary? What do you want for Noah? We can't play him. This guy doesn't want to be here anymore. So what do you want for him? That's what Scott Perry and Mr. Stephen Mills need to do. They need to get on the phone with Minnesota ASAP. ASAP.
Yeah, I hope that phone line is burning up, man, because they need to do something. I don't know what you're going to get for him. It ain't going to be much, but it's looking bad right now, man. It's looking bad. And on for another issue I want to talk about, guys, is the recent firing of Jason Kidd, who was fired as the Milwaukee Bucks head coach. Just briefly, what y'all guys thought about that? Starting with you, Flo.
LA, just give me a minute to talk about this, because I'm still a little bit stunned by this, because my understanding that it was the Greek freak that called Jay Kidd and told him that they're about to fire you. I must speak to the owner to help you so I can save your job. And Jay Kidd was like, nah, don't worry about it. I appreciate the love and support. I know you're loyal to me. Don't worry about it. But for some reason, the Bucks have like 3 owners, and they all don't agree on everything. There was like one owner that wanted to keep Kidd, and the other owner was like, nah, we should fire him since last season. And then you had another owner that was silent until recently. So it's like, I don't know what's going on with them in Milwaukee, but you just gave the Greek freak big money, 4 years, $100 million. You just traded for Eric Bledsoe. You got the reigning rookie of the year, Malcolm Brogdon. I know, LA, you got a problem with that, being rookie of the year. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. We can debate that all day on Knicksfandom about who should be the rookie of the year last season. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter at this point. Malcolm Brogdon won the award. We all know Embiid is the better player. We all agree on that. So it doesn't matter at this point. But here's a team like Milwaukee that's having a little issue, because everyone thought that they were going to step up and rise this year when they lost to Toronto 6 games, especially that game 6 at home. Everyone was saying how the Greek freak needs to work on his 3-point shooting. He's not a good shooter. He needs to work on the offseason. Kobe Bryant challenged him in the offseason about how he needs to get better and needs to be the MVP of the NBA this season. But another issue that no one's talking about that needs to be brought up was that the fact of the matter that J Kidd never got along with the second best player on the team, Jabari Parker. No one's talking about this at all. I mean, it came to the point of both not even talking to one another at all. They were giving each other the silent treatment. So that's not good. That's really not good at all. When your second best player on the team doesn't, it's not even talking to the head coach. Especially when he's recovering from knee surgery once again. Especially when he's supposed to be a free agent at the end of the season. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes that's been going on. And I'm a little bit surprised because I thought when it's all said and done at the end of this season, come July 1st, I really thought that my man DeAndre Jordan was going to sign with Milwaukee. But now I'm not even too sure what's going to go on with DeAndre Jordan. I'm still waiting to see, I'm waiting to see if he's going to actually get moved or not. Because I really thought he was serious about going to Milwaukee. But now with Kidd being fired, not too sure anymore.
No, I hear where you're coming from. And, it's a little shocking. Like, it's still early in the season. The team was in playoff contention. But there's a lot of things that's going around, even how he got there from the Nets. I thought it was a dirty way how he did the Nets to begin with. And, sometimes that's karma coming back to you, man. This ain't the first time Jason Kidd did some stuff. He supposed to been a coach killer with Byron Scott. That's allegedly what they said. He left the Brooklyn Nets after they pretty much cleared everything out for him. Gave him the whole little retired jersey and all that stuff. And he's like, poof, pow, I'm out. So it's like, hey, it comes back on you. What you going to add to that, Danny D?
Yeah, I said, I can't say unfortunately it happens. Like Flo says, a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Different thing with the GMs not getting along, him not getting along with Jabari Parker, things like that. And also always blaming the age, your young team and stuff like that. No, J Kidd, it's your job to get them defensively sound to play. And that's, like you said, once again, it's a business. It happens. And it's also his contact in the locker room talking about he wants to be the coach, allegedly telling players and other people in the management that he wants to coach the Phoenix Suns. I don't know what that got to do. Maybe he thought he was going to get fired, so that was a way just to wrap up things. But it's different things you got to do, J Kidd, man. You got money, you'll be all right, man.
Exactly. I'm thinking that they still got to pay him, so
yeah,
he'll show up somewhere else down the road. But appreciate that, guys. And for the last topic today, rundown for the NBA talk, I just want to briefly go over the drama surrounding the Cleveland Cavaliers and what your guys' thoughts regarding that. So with you, Danny D.
Hey, once upon a time on this podcast, we all had a discussion about why this would have been one of the worst trades ever. And this is the prime example why this is the worst trade ever for the Cavs. They are horrible. Oh, just give them time. Give him time. Give him time. Isaiah's going to be back in form term. Well, I said Isaiah was never going to be back to all-star form performance because it is hard, especially on an injury that he has. Remember, guys, Isaiah did not have surgery. He just went through rehab. So now you're telling somebody to come back to shape to become an NBA player. But no, he can't be a regular NBA player. You want Isaiah to come back to be an all-star player to replace Kyrie. It's not going to happen. It's just too hard to become an all-star player. And the frustration of that is showing right now. They don't play defense. Offensively, they're all out of whack. And when your main job is to bring Tristan Thompson back to the starting lineup and you think that's going to change things, you're in trouble.
Oh, very true, very true. And they hitched their wagon to him for now. But I don't think he'll be re-signed. That's why you keep hearing some whispers of George Hill and all those things, which is a bad move, in my opinion. But the fact you even got to look at that as that's some type of help or some type of save for this team says all you need to say about where this team is at right now. What you add to that, Flo?
LA, I think I said this, I think D said this. This was a bad trade for the Cavs. Like I said, their new GM, Kobe Altman, was put in a tough situation after the owner, Dan Gilbert, fired Mr. Griffin. This was just a bad trade. People complain about Kyrie didn't play defense. He's playing defense now. That's for sure. Definitely playing defense now. So I don't get this whatsoever. Isaiah, you have a great heart. You are a competitor. But why are you trying to create this beef with Kevin Love? After LeBron James, Kevin Love is the second best player on this team, period. Why are you trying to claim, he was faking an illness? That's why he left at halftime against the Oklahoma City Thunder. If the man said he was sick, he was sick. I'm going to defend Kevin Love on this. He was sick. I'm going to take his word on it. Give the guy a break. He's the second best player on this team. He offers more to this team as opposed to Isaiah. Isaiah has a chronic hip condition. The guy hasn't played a back-to-back game yet all season. And he keeps talking about back up the Brinks truck for him because he expects to get a big salary at the end of the season. I don't see it. Isaiah, keep your mouth shut. No reason to create this beef with Kevin Love whatsoever. You're the big problem to this whole mess in Cleveland. This team is terrible defensively with you on the floor as opposed to you off the floor.
I hear you. It's hard to disagree. This is all allegedly what he said. Just want to put that out there. But just looking at it overall, and this team is just a very mismatched team right now. Not really playing with a lot of intensity, really not playing with a lot of heart out there. And to me, that falls on the lap of the coach, Tyronn Lue, and also falls on LeBron James. LeBron James. And I know you say, oh, without this team is a lottery team. Okay, that's true. He does a lot. But something has to be said with this team is having all these little friction in and out and it's getting out of the locker room. You can have that, but not when you got the top player in the league with this team. Some way he got to try to shut that down. And the biggest thing is we all didn't like this move to begin with. So it's no real surprise. We knew once we saw that hip injury like we heard and needed rehabilitation and, got to go to rehab. No. But we needed surgery. And he didn't have time to do it, and he didn't want to jeopardize his contract, which he's not going to get that max money now anyway. But the point is, Kyrie was a better player. Even with the year he put up, Kyrie's one of the top 10, 12 players in the league. Easy. Isaiah Thomas is not that, even with the numbers he put up. He's one of the harder working players. He's one of the toughest players. I give him that. But just skill-wise, he's not that same type of player, in my opinion. But that's what I'm looking at. Overall, it was not a good move, especially when Kyrie had another year on his contract. You had 2 years. You didn't have to make that move. You could have waited and see if they could have finally got together or get you a better deal that would fit this team down the road. Not to take, less for what you had, for more. It's very hard to get superstar players in this league. You had one, you gave him away. So right there, you was in a losing proposition to me. But, this is the team you got right now. They going to try to make that push. Right now, Toronto's looking better. Boston's looking better. But, playoffs is a different beast, different animal. Haven't seen them teams really get past LeBron. So that's going to be something to see. And we'll see if they can get it together. But it's not looking good right now for Cleveland fans. And LeBron can make that walk, pulling that jersey off again. If they go bad. And you know how LeBron is when it goes bad. So just something to keep an eye on, fellas. And that's pretty much all. Go ahead, Flo.
Not to cut you off, I apologize, but we talk about where's Waldo. Where's J.R. Smith? He signed that big contract. Where's he been? I'm still looking for him.
He's missing with that three-point shot. That's what was missing. Shumpert ain't been playing well either, man. Now that team, a lot of players that have played well before is just struggling, man.
This team is aging badly. It really is. Right before our eyes. It really is, man. This really, really, really is. They're a desperate team, and I hope teams realize they're desperate, and hopefully these teams that go out there that try to make a trade with Cleveland, try to get the best bang for your buck against Cleveland when you make these trades against Cleveland, because Cleveland right now, like we said earlier, LA, bad trade with Kyrie. So if all these other teams out there, the Knicks, any other teams that are looking to make a trade with Cleveland, try to take advantage of them. Definitely, you got to take advantage of them. Try to exploit them. Cleveland's been exploiting teams for years.
Very true. You made a good point with that before we just close the show. Stop trying to help LeBron out every time. Why do these teams keep doing that? I don't understand that. It's like this team is struggling, falling around in the water and looking bad, and all somebody want to throw them a life preserver. Why? Stop helping these teams out when they don't look good and they already been winning for the last 4 or 5 years. LeBron been going to the finals. Stop helping them. Let them deal with what they got. I'm not going to help them. I'm not giving no extra help. Unless it's a deal that fit my team. And I feel like these teams don't do that for whatever reason. So I definitely agree with you there, Flo. And, anything else we add there at the end?
Like I said, but then even again, what on the Cavs would you want anyway out of the trade? I wouldn't even want to trade anybody in the Cavs unless you're going to give me Kevin Love. There's nobody in there and a pick. There's nothing there I really want from the Cavs.
That's it, or LeBron. But the thing is, and I blame Kevin Love for this himself. He should have never signed back with this team. I never understood why he came back after he won that chip. There's no reason to come back. They talked him into, I know LeBron's like, oh, we need you and all that. But you're not going to keep making me the scapegoat. When you win, it's all LeBron and Kyrie back then. When they lose, it's all Kevin Love. I don't need to take this heat, man. Let me go to another team. It's not a good fit. They talking about culturally on something I saw. They said he don't really interact with them that much. That was a big issue. So you're not enjoying the locker room. You're not really having fun playing your type of style or this three-pointer stuff. That's not his game. You got him out there looking like Chris Bosh doing that stuff. Let him go on the post and do his different thing. He did a mixture of stuff, not just out there doing that. I would have never signed back with this team after that, man. So, hey, you want to be with this team. You wanted to, fall down with LeBron and all this and then want to be your own man with that. That's on you. That's the way I look at it. Anybody want to add?
LA. Yeah, let me add to what you mentioned earlier. And thank you. But you're exactly right. I got to throw this out there. Phil Jackson helped LeBron by giving him J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert. Remember LeBron was crying that he needs a shooter, he got a shooter. All right? Phil Jackson gift wrapped the NBA championship to LeBron James. Then you had LeBron talking about, I need help, I need some more help. What happened? He got Deron Williams. He also got my man Kyle Korver from Atlanta. So it's like all these teams keep helping LeBron. Stop helping LeBron. Stop it.
Well, Williams wasn't much help, but I get you with Korver. But I get you. But they got him for very cheap, too. I don't understand. It's like the perfect players to fit him. You're like, oh, let's help him out some more. Stop it. You're not getting nothing for it.
And L.A.
Yeah, Flau.
Believe it or not, Jose Calderon is actually playing better than Isaiah Thomas as the starting point guard. Believe it or not.
You heard that, Danny D? That's your man, Jose Calderon.
Man, that's your man. You see that flow, man? He trying to do that, man. That's your man. Trying to do something, man. We gonna get into the listener. He's Jose Calderon. It's better than George. I said George. I said, is you crazy?
They both look bad now, man. He actually look better than George Hill right now.
I said Jose Calderon got the same numbers as Raymond Felton. I said, man, he'll never be on the same nigga together. That's craziness, listeners. Craziness.
Oh, man. You're always just bringing up old stuff, man. But, we'll see how as the season goes, see if the Cleveland can pull it out. LeBron got one more rabbit to pull out that hat. And, see what y'all listeners think about it as well. As we close our show and go to our closing remarks, you got any closing remarks for today's show, Flo?
LA, I want to thank all the listeners. Please subscribe, tell a friend. We're all over the place. iTunes, Spreaker.com, TuneIn, YouTube, etc., etc. Gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be part of this great show, Knicksfandom. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Much appreciated as well. Flo, how about you, Danny D? Got any closing remarks?
Before closing remarks, guys, we have to also say to Anthony Roberson from OKC, man, he had a ruptured pellet tendon. He might have season-ending surgery also. He might be able to play. We're going to say speedy recovery for him. And I just want to thank all you listeners. Keep on subscribing and keep on showing the love. Very
true. Much appreciated there with that quick news break, Danny D. Yeah, I saw that as well at the end. You hope a speedy recovery as well. One good thing we saw early in the week, I saw Gordon Hayward was actually on the court taking some jump shots. Not really jumping, but just good to see him after that, horrific injury he had. So another good look with that one. And much appreciated, guys. Another excellent show as always. Couldn't do without you. Listeners, please subscribe to the show on YouTube and Apple iTunes or any other way you listen to your podcast. Also, good review on iTunes when you get a chance. It really helps our show grow. And lastly, please tell a friend about the show. And most importantly, keep tuning in. See ya.